Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson Media. Today is a Thursday. As always, we usually have a live show. And let me take this opportunity to welcome my guests all the way from Busia County. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
Um, Maybe you can tell our viewers your name and what are you doing in Busia County?
I'm Honorable Joseph Olale.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm a member of County Assembly, special elect in Busia County Assembly.
Mhm.
Also, the chair of legal affairs in the Assembly, and a member of Busia County Assembly.
Mhm.
And what more? Yes.
Like what party? What party? Because we come to realize that Busia is a highly diverse, kind of like county assembly. Everybody is
I'm
in
a,
Busia.
I've said I'm a special elect MCA. That means
Uh-huh.
nominated
Yeah.
through a party called Movement for Democracy and Growth,
Hmm.
which has roots in Siaya. Party leader is the current MP for Member of Parliament for Ugenya. And also in Busia County, we did so well as a party.
Hmm.
We have members who are elected on our party, and that's how we got a chance to get some slots, about three nominations, and I was lucky to be among the three. The two are females
Okay.
from Busia County.
Okay. Thank you very much. And maybe in the near future, if we are just putting a request, if you can assist us to get Moshimiwa himself so that we can have a discussion with him because he has done wonders and he has done some achievement or some may call some things that many people have not done, especially when it comes to politics, because everybody knows he was able to be elected twice with his political party in a place where ODM is that is like a bedrock of ODM. So he we might invite him so at least he can take us through what did he do so that he was there. Thank you so much again for honoring our invite. And today we just want to discuss something that um, has always been with us for almost over 10 years, is about devolution. And since you are one person that is in the county assembly, you might have knowledge on how it works, especially all over the country. So we want to look at the successes of devolution and maybe the challenges that the devolution is facing in the country. So maybe if we start on the good note, what can you say about the successes of the devolution?
Thank you. I think devolution was a very good idea,
Mhm.
uh, brought up with good people, but landed initially on wrong hands.
Mhm.
So as we proceed, we are trying to have it right back on the right hands. Devolution is a system of government where power, resources, and everything is close to the people at the grassroots. That
Mhm.
one spurs development from down going up in what probably would be called bottom up. But it means that you bring more resources near people so that they enjoy.
Mhm.
So far, devolution has done some improvements. Number one, in terms of issues of employment, because since the evolution started, the number of people who have been employed under what we would call government has increased, and especially from the regions, which in Kenya we have 47 regions, which is 47 counties, and then there is national government, which forms the 48th one.
Mhm.
Apart from issues of employment, there have been good progress in terms of issues of agriculture, road network, the issue of development of food cities.
Mhm.
And with all those, we've also had misses with the devolution,
Yes.
especially the issue of evolving health was not a good idea. It has really faced challenges for the last 10 years since inception. The issue of devolving issues of, I've said issues of health. has been a very big challenge in the country because counties are running health differently, and now it's causing a lot of havoc because you find like one county a nurse is being paid higher than another one. It is causing mass movement. The other counties are doing well, other counties are stuck. So there have been issues. I think devolving health was one of the few mistakes. Just like security, it ought to have remained at national government level.
Okay, let,
Or
let me
implement.
let me talk about, especially you mentioned security. When you look at the security, especially whereby the security is in the national level, right? But you find like the national level control the security, but in the counties, uh, so they get the information concerning the security, let's say from the national level. But to find like this county level, they are government of their own. Yeah. Why can't they have their own security? Because like if you look at the system that the constitution bring about the devolution, in other areas whereby it was adopted or it was copied from, you find like the counties have their own security, their own police system, their own maybe yes, their own police system whereby they control those police and they have their budget for that. Because that one I think can work well rather than making it to be in devolve. So they might have like the police. I'm talking about the police. Let's say that the police should, each and every county should have their own police that they control. Can that one work?
I don't think whether that one can work because
Mm-hmm.
Kenyans and Africans are still not well advanced in terms of discipline
Mm-hmm.
and responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the issues of security, is a national government concern. And if you look like example, the countries like United States of America,
Mm-hmm.
they are well advanced in terms of everything, technology and other things. In our country, one of the biggest factors that cannot allow that is tribalism,
True.
people having diversities. And then there's also mass movements of people from one county to another, one town to another. So I think it was right for the government to keep that so that it can maintain order. If you look at how our elections are done and the impact and aftermath of elections, if that was the case, then we could be having a lot of issues because now each county depends on who has won or who has lost, can marshal the region and can cause a bloodshed. So I think it was right for security to remain at national level. So we have one central of order.
Mm-hmm.
And on that, county governments also have police, but they are called enforcement officers, which have different roles from the national police.
But they do not have firearms. They have this rungus.
Yeah, which is also good with them because I've told you the level of discipline in our people so far is still not. If you go to America, there is no constitution. They don't have a written constitution.
Mm-hmm.
They have a constitution by heart. Somebody just understands this is what should be done and this is right, which is not in our case. Our case is like the jungle, only the strong to survive. So I think it was right for the government to maintain that right to have order in the country based on the diversity that we are having in this nation.
Okay, thank you. Let me talk to you about accountability, especially when it comes to county governments all over the country, because we know that that is a major issue that affects all the county when it comes to accountability. Are there some effective mechanism that can be put in place so that we can have on how we can have accountability and oversight? Because when it comes to some projects, sometimes like even the spending of how the county sometimes do their spending. Sometimes you will find like the interest money that is used for interest is going like doing some things that actually do not bring benefit to the wananchi. Is there that mechanism in counties that is there for accountability and transparency?
Thank you. I think one of the reasons that could be hindering devolution. One is what you've said, and is one of the misses of devolution. It's like even the corruption that was at national level was also devolved.
True. Yeah.
The money was getting lost at national level, and it's like it was also devolved. And I think this one is one of the misses that we are having as a country, where
Hello.
can't get you.
Did I? Hello.
Yes, I'm trying to check. Are you able to see me?
You're kind of like frozen on the screen. I don't know. Something wrong. What happened with your network? Or somebody was calling you?
Yeah, I think it was an incoming call.
Yeah, true. Sometimes it does happen like that when.
But I think I can see I'm coming back. So, I was explaining, something
Mhm.
that it's like corruption has also been devolved in the counties. And one of the mistakes that has happened, if you look at the counties that are practicing devolution.
Can you please check on your camera? We kind of missed. Your camera is off. Okay, we can only get your audio. Maybe we can continue like that. Then, as you try to fix it.
I'm trying to fix it. Now, because I can see you, I'm wondering why myself. It's not.
Yeah, we cannot see you though. Okay, let's just continue. We'll see what we can do.
Yes, so you say
I think your camera is gone. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, let's just continue as we are fixing it. So you talk about the challenges.
Yes, one of the things was having politicians being elected as governors.
Yeah.
And this have been politicians, some failed, some came. It has been an issue. Our role of a member of county assembly is the oversight.
The oversight.
Yes, the main county assembly act legislation. You have oversight, how the county governments are and the third one is representation.
Okay. So,
but you find that the oversight side is not effective. Based on that, if you look at this country where elections to MCA is the only kind of county not attached to you can control.
Can you log out and can you log out and come in again, because even your voice is breaking? Just log out, then come in to see if it can work. Okay, thank you very much. We had that technical issue, that is technology, but he's going to log in again as we discuss about the devolution, the misses, the successes, and how can we improve on the devolution so the majority of Kenyans at the county level can get the services that they need, or because the only thing we need is service delivery to the people that we've elected. So as he will be okay. Thank you. You're back.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
So I was explaining the issue of oversight. If you look at the president is the CEO of the county. You look at the governor is the CEO of the county. If you look at the Senate, recently they passed a law of a fund called Oversight Fund that they are given so that to enable their work easier to oversight the county governments. If you look at the women representatives, they have what we call GAF, National Affirmative Action Fund.
True.
If you look at members of parliament, they have what we call CDF. So out of these 6 positions, the 5 positions, these guys have money that they're using to run their activities. If you come to the member of county assembly, it's dependable to the governor because he has no funds. If you want projects in your ward, sometimes it goes how you are related to governor. Now, how do you oversight him? So it means how you are loyal to the governor or how you are supporting the governor is when your things can be done. So there has been a push by the Council of Assemblies Forum in Kenya and to have what we call World Development Fund. So from the county budget, you allocate like 30 or 40% of the total development money, you allocate to the various wards in that county. So that an MCA is also responsible on the promises he gave during elections to do things so that you don't become dependable to governor. Is when you can oversight the governor. But you cannot oversight the governor when you have an empty hand. They'll say you're making noise. So what the governors do is to divide the assembly by having one side on his side and those who he feels are opposing him on the other side. So it has brought a lot of issues and it has affected the issue of accountability and oversight of the county governments on how they are spending.
Okay, thank you. And about the same, you're talking about the fund that can be given to the county member of assembly. We know the one that is given for the MPs and the women rep. The court made a pronouncement that it is unconstitutional and it is something that is being debatable. And the NADCO report actually, there's one of the points that the NADCO report agreed upon was about the MCA, the fund. So my question to you, because you are the people that are doing the oversight, your main work is to oversight. How will you oversight yourself if you're given these funds? How will you oversight yourself?
You know, the court made pronouncements sometimes back, and the constituents have been receiving the money.
Yes.
The women reps are receiving their money.
Yeah.
And you know, in Kenya, we have what we call selective amnesia. When the court rules other things, the government sometimes decides which one they are following and which one they are not following.
True.
And you know, that one has also brought up the issue of whether people respect the rule of law. Because if they have to deny members of parliament that funds and women reps, the MCs could not be crying over the same. They will be sticking to their roles. And these funds are not controlled by MPs or women reps or even MCs will control direct. There will be a committee that will be mandated to do that. The MCA will just be an ex officio to that fund to align his manifesto with the funds available. Because if you are vying as an MC and you say, if you elect me, I'll bring water here. If you elect me, I'll do this road. Then you are not in the terms of the governor. Who will bring that road? Who will bring that water? You can't use your salary or your allowances to drink the water for the public. But so you find when that funds is available, it form a select committee that will be in charge of aligning the government agenda and your agenda, so that at the end the service is received by the people based on your campaign promises.
But do you think that one gives you a upper hand on your opponents? Because when you will be running during campaigns, you will have something to point out that maybe there's a road that you've started and it's not completed by the time you're leaving the office or by the time you're campaigning. And you will tell the people, okay, take me back to parliament or to the county assembly so that I can complete this road. And we are knowing very well that that was a public money. That is not where you got your money, because that gives you a upper hand.
You know, in politics, what you say can make you elected or fail, and especially in our Kenyan politics. And you are elected.
Yeah.
The Article 1 of the Constitution says that the power belongs to the people.
True.
Article 2 says that the power can be donated to you by the people to represent them so that you work on their needs. So if you use government money to bring a project to your people, then you are representing them well. And if you decide to do them halfway so that you come again to ask them for votes to complete, that's now up to you and them. But the best thing is that people should be ready when you're campaigning. Though you can't campaign on a promise that I'm going to oversight the governor. That if you elect me, I'll make sure governor uses. You say what you'll do, to be specific. How you'll do it and what you'll use to do it is what we are now fighting for, so that it doesn't become a request from or a favor. It becomes a right of the citizens that you elected, that a fund is allocated in your ward, which is a public fund. You have a special committee to oversight the fund and to make sure that because what you're doing is not your personal development. They are promises you gave in line to the people's need in that area. So when you'll be accomplishing them, it means that you'll be accomplishing the voters' needs, which is the basis of the devolution, that you bring development to the bottom line or to the lowest level of the units of governance.
Okay. Now, the same on accountability, and I'm now going to be very specific on the Busia County Assembly, because based on how it is like highly diverse. Like there's no any other county that is like Busia, because like Busia has the face of the country over there, and we know the government of Busia is controlled by ODM. So you have your position, yeah. Yes. I hope you're the people who could tell us on how you do, especially to put the ODM county government of Busia on check, especially when it comes to how they work for the people of Busia. How is that one working over there?
I think Busia is a very interesting county. Mm-hmm. It has a total number of 53 members of county assembly. Mm-hmm. Out of 53, ODM has 30. So 23 are not members of ODM. Mm-hmm. So you see the number is not that wide. And like other regions, if you go to Siaya, we have 42 MCAs and it's like 39 are ODM. Mm-hmm. So if you look at Busia, it's a very tricky county because the number is almost balancing. The ruling government is ODM, and the opposition has the capacity to overcheck the government, because if you look at the numbers of members who are not ODM, you get 5 people from the other side, then the opposition becomes majority.
Yes.
So what has not been that effective so much is like, this assembly just came in less than 1.5 years ago. From the previous assembly, is only 4 were elected back out of 35 wards. So it means that out of 35, 31 are new members of county assembly from different backgrounds, different professionals, trying to learn other things. But so far, so good. I think Busia has also not have external issues, because we have for an assembly to start establishing issues of corruption, because the auditor reports, there are reports by government institutions that raises questions. Once they've raised questions, it comes to assembly. We have a committee called Public Accounts and Investment Committee that goes, does the research and validates. From there, now the assembly picks up. But assembly cannot come and say that we are suspecting that money is lost. We are not accounting officers. We only oversight that when accountability issue is raised, then we pick up and the people responsible takes responsibility.
But like you have like the policies that are being brought by the government side, that this is what we want to do for Busia. So there's something that you have to debate over and say, is it viable or is it beneficial for the people of Busia? If it is, then you can vote for it, or if it doesn't, then you can bring it down. That one happens.
A policy paper or a policy document is a policy document is a paper. Is a paper that more so works on written things. They're not. They're not. You're lost.
I think you're lost because I can't see you. Hello?
Yes, yes. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, maybe somebody was calling you and it throws you off. But I can still get
Like,
your voice.
yes, I was saying that a policy paper.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot a policy paper. In most cases, there are issues of explaining what you are going to do, how you are going to do it.
Mm.
What is the issue? You can have a very good policy paper.
Mm-hmm.
Very good policy paper.
I don't know. We lost you. Okay, he's coming back. I think like he's Mweshimiwa, so he's getting a lot of calls, and this is something with the studio that we are using. If somebody is calling you, it takes you off the studio. So let's just wait for Mweshimiwa to come back. If any of you have a question concerning the county government, so it is now your time to come and ask Muhesh some questions so he can answer because he's sitting in County Assembly of Busia, which is so much diverse. So yes, if somebody
Yes.
calls you,
I was explaining something that
yes, I
a
am.
policy document, policy paper,
Mm-hmm,
is just a law. You can pass a good law. But now the problem becomes with those who are implementing the law. They can go and start implementing their own things,
mm-hmm.
or they reverse the implementation stage. So there's no assembly or any legislative house that can pass a bad law.
Okay,
The only problem becomes that sometimes you pass a good law, but the implementers start doing their own things.
true.
As per now, the county assembly of Busia or the county government of Busia has never forced the assembly to pass any controversial law that we feel can affect people negatively.
Okay,
And the side of the government has also not done well in terms of submitting policies papers to the assembly up to now. And as the chair of the legal committee, I think I've done a letter to the county attorney over the same. The county attorney has responded by also writing to the relevant departments on formulation of policy papers so that they are brought to the assembly so that we know what is government doing in which department and what are they doing and how are they doing it. So I think it has started recently. We passed a policy paper on what we call climate change fund.
mm-hmm.
We've done acts with regulations. We are expecting a policy paper on water. Currently, we are expecting a policy paper on public participation, which is a very mandatory article, important component in the current constitution, the people's public participation in activities that are being carried out by the government.
Okay, thank you. There's also another thing. Maybe you can also help us understand, including me, because I know each and every government usually collect revenue. The money that Busia County government is collecting, or the money that every county is collecting, are this money taken back to the national government, or there's a way in which the county government spend them in some areas, the revenue?
Yeah, the county government has two sources of income. Number one is government funding.
Yeah.
The number two is what we call on-source revenue.
Mm-hmm.
This on-source revenue is where there has been a problem in different countries in different ways. There are counties that digitalize their way of collecting internal revenue, and they're really doing well. There are counties that they are still using the manual way of receipts and cash, and people are getting rich with those monies, and counties are missing targets. And once you miss a target with the budget, it means you'll have these issues of pending bills because you didn't meet your target, so you have to realign your budget. And it is affecting the counties, but most of counties currently are digitalizing their way of collecting taxes. They are also coming up with ways of collecting tax. Like if you go to Busia, is It's a gateway to East Africa. It
Yes.
has two points, that is Malaba and Busia.
Busia, yes.
But see, they've not tapped that opportunity of having tax through those trailers because there's no service they provide to them. There's no trailer park whether they can park and charge. They park along the road. And you know, the law says, how do you charge someone and you've not provided the service?
But
So currently,
but let's say, for example, if you're living, because I know Busia borders Siaya, right? And Kisumu.
yes,
The
yes,
very moment you leave county of Kisumu, you come into Busia, you're using Busia roads. Yeah. And is that
yes.
wear and tear of the road? So as a trailer, you need to pay for that. It's not only the parking they should pay, they even should pay for the roads. In the way bridges, we have the way bridge. When they're coming to Busia.
Yeah, but you know what Weybridge does is different from what we call that can raise taxes because the Weybridge works whether there's overweight, like a lorry is 7 tons and you have 9. That's where they find you with a mistake. But when you are on the right side of the law, they don't charge you tax. They only work on their clearances. How is it? But you know, like if you have a trailer park. If a trailer gets in that place, you know there are charges.
Yes.
Let's say you are charged.
Okay, maybe somebody's calling Mweshimiwa, so let's wait until he comes back. So anyway, if somebody has a question, can just throw in a question. I see Goodyear. I'll give him this question so he can answer. Why are some county leaders doing well than some, e.g. the road, school, market wise, are they are not getting their money from the central government? Hopefully he comes back and answer this question. I think there's a problem with his internet, so hopefully he will come back and share with us more about the successes and the challenges that the county government are facing. There's a lot that county government are facing right now. We have doctors are on strike, and you know the majority people who are suffering are the common electorate, because like majority of our leaders, they will go to the private hospitals. Some of them do not attend government government hospitals. They usually go to private hospitals whereby the doctors are being paid well, and that's where like sometimes I do say, like, where is our humanity? If you and your kids, you have a very good insurance and you're going to private hospital, even for like a malaria, the hospitals where you're going, you can get medication, and you know there's something that you're missing in those hospitals. But the people that you represent, yet you have to bargain on their lives. So you know it is quite much so tricky, and like I don't know how we will survive, especially. And we are also seeing a situation whereby the CS of health, she's very intimidating to our doctors. I think like yesterday they were supposed to be having a meeting or negotiation about on how the formula that the doctor should go to work. She did not appear, and that's how we are, like at the end of the day, the electorate, kwa Kiswahili tunaita kwamba mwananchi wa kawaida hao ndio wanakuaga na shida. Unapata kwamba sana sana vitu ambazo tuseme kwamba mwananchi wa kawaida huwa lazima zijadiliwe. Ukitaka kwenda shule lazima shule yako ijadiliwe. Ukitaka kwenda hospitali, madaktari ambao wanafaa wakutibu lazima tujadili mshahara yao itakuwa vipi. Lakini ikifika kwa tuseme kwa waheshimiwa ama kwa wale ambao wako katika uongozini, yao ni chap chap. Unaona, kama ingekuwa ni wanasiasa ndio wangekuwa wanataka kuongeza mshahara yao, haingemaliza hata wiki moja. Hii kitu ingefanywa mapema sana, kungekuwa hata na the negotiation. But since it's something that touches on the life of the people, so it is upon you, the electorate, to decide on who you want to put on the leadership. If you vote for somebody who doesn't care about you, then this is what you're going to get. So next time when you're voting, just vote wisely. You know, I believe in one thing. I believe that a political party does not bring development. Yeah, you can vie with any political party you want, but you have to vote a person. Don't vote a political party. Vote a person that is going to create change in your life. And if somebody you're voting somebody for almost 15 years or 10 years, and this person is not creating change in your area, that person should not be in the leadership. So it is upon you. Everybody, it is you who decides on what you want, the kind of leadership you want, and that one will determine the kind of life that that country will be having. So it is upon the electorate to decide what they want to hello Mheshimiwa.
Yes, I think there's been, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I think you're getting too much calls. Waambie hao watu uko show, uko karibu kumaliza.
Yes.
There's a question for you waiting for you.
Yes.
Maybe there's somebody is asking, why are some county leaders doing well than some, e.g., roads, schools, market-wise? Are they not getting their money from the same central government?
I think that is purely based on leadership and the type of leaders in that county. And,
Yeah.
and that's where, like, you see, the devolution brainchild, it's believed that it came from Nyanza. But
Yes,
today, if you go to
I wanted to ask you about that.
today, if you go to Makweni, our people go to Makweni, which is a dry place to benchmark the issues of devolution. I think this purely based on leaders that are elected.
Mhm.
Two is what we call the diversity of elections of leaders.
Mhm.
If I give an example of these regions that now we tend to call or see prospering other than these regions, and especially if you give an example with Nyanza,
Mhm.
if you go to how they do the elections at the end of elections, there are diversity. There are people, different parties, governors a different party from the area, MCS, assembly, there's that diversity and in the elections. But our region has also been affected by this one party syndrome.
Mhm.
That today, let's say a county in Nyanza, the governor is from the same party with the senator and women rep and all the MCS. How do you account? How do you do oversight? And
That's
with
a
our
big.
politics around, you question something, the party gives you a call. So
That
I think if we go the way the other people are doing, then we'll be able to improve our services.
that's why we need Mheshimiwa here to explain to us what did he do right. That's why we need him, because we want to
Yeah.
hear his thought, the step he took, because we've always seen, especially when not everybody can have the same view. People can have different perspective on how they see things, like especially like Mheshimiwa came with his party, and I think he has been elected twice, but
No, I think yes,
right.
Mheshimiwa, actually I started with him the journey on the first day.
Uh-huh.
In 2013, he was elected in ODM
Yep.
as a member of parliament.
Mhm.
He was able to have 5 colleges in this constituency in one term.
Hmm.
This didn't do well with some party members.
Hmm.
So, and I want to quote a very distinguished honorable member
Hmm.
who once they came to our constituency and told us that laws has nothing to do with development. Laws must respect party. So my party leader waved off ODM in 2016. He formed his party, MDG. We were members by that time. We went to an election. We lost by about 246 votes. We felt that we were denied our victory. We went to High Court. We won. The person went to Court of Appeal, we won. The case ended in Supreme Court, we won, and there was a by-election in April in 2019. And then he emerged victorious in that election with this party. We went to the last election in 2022, we also won. And I think the people have developed trust in him, how he does his things, how he fulfills his promises. So he's giving a new hope to the people that who works is not the party, it's the person elected. And currently people are also feeling that party does not work, it's an individual that works. So people, I think if we veer off from this mentality of electing people based on party mentality, we'll be able to improve on our services. If we decide that we elect, we would rather have an independent candidate who can work for the people. And he just gets elected because party does not do miracle to make you a great person. If you are somebody who cannot work with the people, even if you're elected on the best party, you will not work. There's no magic in party that makes somebody work. It's the person that is elected, how he is able to arrange himself and make sure that he fulfills the promises. And you also don't give thousands of promises that you cannot fulfill. You'd rather give 4 or 5, but at least fulfill all of them. The most important thing is to develop trust with the people that you are able to say this and do this within a period of time. Once people know that you're a man who speaks and means his words and does them, I think you can be elected on anything, not based on party strength or whatever.
But do you believe that the majority, especially from Nyanza region, understands that?
You know, if you give birth to a child, you train her how to sit, to stand, to walk. Once the child knows how to walk, you'll not tell her how fast or slow he should walk. It will come automatically. From the previous elections and these last elections, people have started seeing that. If you look at the governors that we've had in Nyanza, the former governor of Migori, Obado, was first time elected on
PDP.
ODM.
Yeah,
PDP.
no, PDP.
PDP.
Yes.
And he worked so well on the first term because maybe there are things he was not involved in. If you look at Shakil Shabir,
yep,
he was elected independent in the 2017 elections.
Isumu East.
He has done some good job there. So I think people have started learning that it's not party that works, it's the people. So it's the few leaders who have been elected that will prosper this mentality and make people change. And currently, people have started now realizing that politics is not about what we see during campaigns. It's about what happens after elections that builds your future, that builds your dreams, that makes you feel that you're a proud voter. So I think people are trying to change now. And in these coming elections, I want to assure you that this side of the nation, which is believed that we're the proprietors of multi-party democracy at national level, but at regional level, it has never been practiced. People will be prepared for road shock.
Thank you about asking about that, because it was one question that I was yet to ask you about the democracy, especially when it comes to the national level, because in the country there are so many. When it comes to politics, there are so many achievements that is given to Onagi nation in terms of fighting for devolution. Baba fought for devolution very, very, very well, and he fought, and until we got new constitution. When we come to fighting for democracy, that is something that is associated with Baba. We give it to him. You cannot take that away from him. But the way the problem comes is now when we come to the Onagi nation itself, that if you come with another political party or selling another ideology apart from what we know, it seems like you're a betrayer to the community. How can we have like that space?
On this we cannot blame Baba because from 92 to currently, Baba has moved to almost 10 political different parties.
Mhm.
He was in Ford Kenya. He left Ford Kenya for NDP.
Mhm.
NDP merged with Kanu. He became the Secretary General. He later left it, formed ODM Kenya, then ODM, then CORD, then NASA. Then it has just proceeded until recently as Azimio. And
Mhm.
then we also came with another one, MDD, that collapsed. Issue is not Baba. Issue is, when you're a king, you cannot know everything.
Yeah.
You depend on people around you. But
Mhm.
when people around you have also realized that they can take advantage of some things, then
Mhm.
they can wrongly misuse you. So the leaders who've been electing who are not working well have taken advantage of their closeness with Baba
Mhm.
to convince him. It happens during dying days of elections that
Mhm.
now, Baba, you have to come and lift my hand and declare me. So they
Mhm.
take advantage that people respect Baba,
Mhm.
and what Baba says is final. So people just elected, they disappear in Nairobi, they make some small money, they rush to party, they get ticket, then they come and convince Baba that I won the ticket, but somebody has come with the money, we don't know money from which side. So
Mhm.
he's not with us, he's with them. This them we are never told who. So Baba comes. So when Baba comes, obvious as a party leader would wish members of his party to
Mhm.
be elected. He'll,
Mhm.
he doesn't force people, but he says his mind, and out of that respect, people follow.
Because like I'm not blaming Baba on this. What I'm saying is that like the leaders that are the local leaders, because like Baba plays the national politics. I would not
Yes.
like to see Baba coming home and say, okay, I don't want to see these people, because like I've never kind of like had Baba saying, okay, I don't want you to like so and so. As a party leader, you also have to make your party to be strong. He will try his level best to have as many soldiers as he could. But that space whereby maybe some few elected leaders who feel like that space for people with alternative minds should not be there, like they might be betrayers. That's what I'm saying. That how can we as how can we both allow that democratic space to play within our area, so that
So,
even if I come with a political party, then you say it's okay, it's a competition, if you win is okay, if you don't win too is okay.
so there's an English word that says God's time is the best time.
Mhm.
And I want to tell you that the time has come.
Mhm.
Baba's fought for this nation in terms of everything. Baba's time now, God is giving him another chance to lead in a different level. So we wish Baba all the best to get UAC position chairmanship.
Mhm.
Once he gets that and he moves out of this country, those leaders who are taking advantage will get exposed. And Waswahili wanasema mjinga kirevuka mwerevu wa mashakani. So once the citizens will realize that Baba was good, it's only that few people who are taking advantage of situations to
Mhm.
continue to put people in the same status quo, they'll be in for a rude shock. And people have also now realized, because people were just coming and saying that Baba sent me to greet you. Will you elect me? That happened. We are going to fight for Baba. There's some wars up there, even imaginary wars, and people have. But now Baba is not there, so you just come and tell us what you are going to do. People will no longer come with Baba's name. People have hung on his court for a very long time. People have taken advantage. People get what they want, but Baba doesn't get his. If God willing, Baba gets now this one, then
Mhm.
he'll also have a time now to also execute his things peacefully without people hanging on his court. So that these people who have been doing this, we can now deal with them rightly. If you don't have an idea, you go home. Our problem in our region that people who have ideas have never gotten to power, except a few who have also been pressed down. But most of those who are in power don't have any idea of what they are supposed to do, except using Baba's name to clinch positions.
Okay, let me come to your party, and this one I usually ask everybody who has come here with their political parties, especially about the youths. The youths are the majority uh, in our country, and when it comes to politics or their activities, they will be used. I might call that they will be used in areas that is not supposed to be, especially when it comes to violence. And this one happened even recently in in Bungoma, I think so, where we had the Transoya boss, Honorable Governor Natembea, and the Speaker of National Assembly, Mr. Swetangula. And this was a funeral. And like it seems like there was a organized, because the way it happened, and these are youths. So you find like such like violence, the the good, like the most thing that the youths are being used for. But when it comes to creating opportunities for youth, they don't they don't usually play it. The leaders sometimes don't play it very well. Like they don't get employment, they don't get support that they need. But when it comes to violence, as a party, what are the mechanisms that you have as a party, especially when it comes to empowering of young people, those who want to become leaders, and even those who need help to achieve their dreams?
Thank you. I think from the start, my party leader recently walked out from the youth bracket age. Is merely 42, turning to 43 soon. So that age still, even if it's not a youth by definition of age, but I believe he has a youthful mind. If you look at our party structure, most of their leaders are youths. And my party leader is trying to practice what, if you go to Maseno, is written on the gate, that we don't train job seekers, we train job creators. That's why you've seen these colleges that were opened randomly in this constituency are creating job opportunities in terms of supplies of things, business opportunities. My party leader has been distributing seeds probably almost every year. You know, the basic things that a human needs is clothing, food, and shelter. Once you get those three things, you start a life. So the other one you proceed are now luxury. So the idea of even having these colleges was a form of job creation for young people, because it will be very awkward or funny for a politician to come that you elect me, I'll give you jobs. And we know that currently in our country there are no jobs. Actually, those who have jobs are losing jobs.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes and tells you I'm going to give you jobs, would be lying. But if somebody comes and does a college in your village, there are a lot of opportunities in that region that you can do in terms of business, in terms of supplies, in terms of you do some small hostels, you become a landlord. That is already an opportunity. So what we are trying to come up with is having activities that can create employment for our people, and not promising people that you go to school, bring your papers. Obviously, in government, we also have opportunities, and I don't want to mention online some young people that he has facilitated to get jobs in different sectors in the government by qualification. But you know, not all of us qualifies for those jobs in terms of academic credentials. Yes, and not everybody has gone to school to the level of those credentials. Those of us, and that's why we have in Uganda, we have a TTC, we have a KMTC, we have a TTI. Recently, we finished constructing an agricultural college to train farmers on modern farming activities. As I'm speaking to you in this month, early April, we are going to host Minister for Environment. We are doing a forestry college somewhere in Okwala, which is nearing completion. So that a youth who can have a seedling nursery already is having a market to dispose his seedlings, because we are doing a forestry college. And you know, like Kenya, forest cover is less than 10%, less than what UN Habitat requires for a nation. So you see, those are opportunities. So we are doing things that can create job for our people. We currently, there's activities like this youth group fundings. We are doing a Arambe. Towards last election, we did a very big Arambe that was attended by this previous Speaker of Assembly for women groups. Much money was raised. It was given to the groups. The groups were trained on poultry farming, table banking. If a group practices stable banking in a good way, then become self-sustainable. Where if you want 4,000 or 5,000 for fees, you can access, you get at the interest of the group's request. So if those things we can arrange them in a well, next year we're also doing a very big one too, one for youths and one for women. If we do that and it succeeds, the problem with our people, sometimes you do this, you take 200,000 to a group, then people decide, give me 10,000 each. Somebody takes it in the form of loan. A young man like me goes direct to the pub, gets a girlfriend, and they drink the money. a woman goes to the market, and the biggest priority, they start by buying lesos, a new kitenge, and probably jam. You took the money for loan. No, you've already missed the point. So
they say with lugha ya vijana lazima tutengeneze luku lazima
tuchape luku tuende rave tuchape form. People get money and then people look for form, and already you've veered off the road from what you took the money for. And that's why you see our tribe and our people, they're not good in issues of loans, because how they spend loan once they get them, especially these government institutions, they end up being those guys coming and picking things from their homes, because they veer off. They write very good proposals, gets money, but once money gets in the pocket, the priorities change. So we also need to train our people like this. Now issues of these hustler funds that are being given the government, they don't. I've never had a government that is coming to take property from its citizen for maybe disappearing with their loans. So what we need to train our people, that those who are rich in this country, some of them are rich because of loans. So people must develop an attitude of getting loans and using them correctly, getting profit and returning the principal amount to where it was borrowed. Once that one happens, we'll not be on road with papers and brown envelopes to seek jobs. And as a party, we are really working on that. We are training, and we hope that if we get that political space in this region, and in the next 2-3 years, even before next election, you'll see a very big change on our mentality of our people towards personal development, community development, and procedurally.
Okay, thank you. How is the accessibility to Mheshimiwa? Because, one thing that is also very, very, very disadvantageous to youths is accessibility of our leaders. Because some youths, they just need that accessibility to have that one-on-one conversation with the leaders that are elected. But this one seems to be very not easy for the youths, So how accessibility is Mheshimiwa?
I don't know accessibility at what point, because if you have an opportunity to come and visit my party leader at home, you'll share same spoon, you'll share same table, you'll share same food from one pool. And he's on short, you'll never know whether actually if you come, you'll never know he's the area member of parliament. Accessibility depends on different levels. And what we've also learned from him and as young leaders, that if you want to lead peacefully, you become very accessible and readily accessible. Then you have peace. When you are not accessible is when the demands are also high. But when people see you every time, people feel you are down with them. And I'll send you his number, you'll engage him. You'll just find him easily the way you found me on just one phone call.
Okay, there's I don't know, let me see. One of our viewers saying Olale was nominated, but their party only have the honor party leader as elected member. David is one man who survives on voters' ignorance. That was one of the viewers is saying.
Yeah, if you say that voters are ignorant and he wins with majority, that is calling your community that majority of your community is ignorant, which is not the right way to do. But everybody is entitled to an opinion, either positive or negative. That is democratic right. In politics, you have to accept criticism. Some of the criticisms are positive. They make you change where you are wrong. Some of them are political. There are people, even if we build a house, they'll still not support David, which is also their right. Politics is persuasion. You can't force somebody to listen to your needs and accept. It's like the way Jesus told his disciples, I send you out to go and preach my words. Where you are welcomed, get in. Where you are chased, just go. So it's normal. You can't have all people positive about you. You can't also have everybody against you. And that's how politics survive. Even Raila is a good person, but he still has criticisms.
Let me tell you, Baba is hated as the measure that people hate him is the same way people love him. So there's
Yes,
those who just hate
that
Baba.
is politics.
Baba, kuna wale hawataki tu Baba.
And that is politics. Our people currently do even talk about priests.
Yeah.
Both positively and negatively. So that is the nature of human being that we cannot control, and we can't take somebody on offense for criticizing somebody or having a divergent opinion. That is a democratic right, and that's why we are enjoying the democracy. During Moi's time, there was nothing like that.
Yeah.
From after promulgation of the 2010 Constitution and the multi-partyism in 1991, repeal of Section 2A allowed all those. So we cannot crucify somebody for having a divergent opinion.
So because we are almost over time. I know you're very busy. Mheshimiwa.
No, today I dedicated my evening for you.
Okay. Now before we wind up, on what can you say, or what are the changes that we can kind of like do so that we can have devolution to be so much effective, so that the people on the ground actually should feel that devolution is working?
Number one, national government and county government must find a way of dealing with the issue of corruption. That is the first thing that is killing the development in this country, both at national level and at county level. The issue of corruption. If somebody gets in power, he doesn't see politics as a service, but a way of getting money and getting rich. Two is having competent people. Once a leader is elected, a president, you have competent ministers, competent PS going down, not rewarding foolish political cronies to please them. They're the ones who are misleading this. Even at county levels, sometimes it's wrong that somebody who has done nutrition goes and heads finance department.
Yeah.
Yes, you find a minister who has done, somebody who has studied beauty and therapy, heading. You see that mismatch of professionalism and the level of work. If that one is sorted, it's another way. Another thing is having competent leaders, good leaders who have no history of either this whatever chapter 6 of the Constitution.
Yeah.
And lastly, and specifically to our Luo nation, is allowing different people with different ideas to come and compete and give space to the best. And that's why devolution has not done so much well in our region compared to other regions, and we are the initiators of it because we've decided to think one way. If you veer off from that way of thinking, then you are not our person. If you allow people that multi-party democracy, right to speech, and people coming up with different ideas, competing on a fair, level ground, that one will improve the quality of leaders we have, because you are elected based on competency and not the party that has majority of the say in the region.
Okay. There's also somebody, Duan Dongrok, ask Olale that his party leader is giving seeds and fertilizer parallel to UDA's. I am in. Is it Obet? Where are these seeds? Amania individual who don't even have farms. MDG is full of egocentric people. You have very enemies, but
the previous seed, and I want to say that the seed is, this could be our 9th time giving seed in the last 14 years. And the seeds, recently the seeds were done in 19 sublocations out of 27. Where it's coming from, we did seed distribution in Nyaharua, and there's no qualification. Once you come and you're adult, we don't even check ID or everything. The issue is you appearing there, because we purchased over 40,000 packets, and this is private program by the MP from his pocket. It's not a CDF funded project. On the issue of fertilizer, these are government subsidy fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
We only facilitate their coming close. Then it's the people from the NCPB who sells them. So
Okay.
you pay to actually the message goes to the NCPB, then you are given a fertilizer. We only facilitated from our people going far as Riala and Bale to get. So we provide transport and the seeds to Sega, which is the middle center of Ugenya, so that you don't spend much money. But they are government fertilizers sold at government price by government people. But the seed is MP's personal initiative. He has been doing it for several years back, and even the symbol of our party is the maize. So on that, sometimes we cannot pick you from home to come and collect, or maybe he missed just the information on the day that it was supposed to be done. But it was a public. You're doing 17 sub locations at open points. It was not something that was hidden for
Mm,
specific people.
mm.
And even
Okay.
it was announced on radio. How do we become egocentric with information when it was even done on a radio, a local radio call, and in Mayenga, and the person who was there said that Ugenya will be receiving seeds from tomorrow, so muende mchukue mbegu mpande.
Yeah, okay. Those are the views. Those are maybe people from the county or
Yeah,
the area,
the port is in Ugenya, I know the place.
the Ugenya, where the Mheshimiwa are coming from. So, Mheshimiwa, I want to take this opportunity to thank you. And just please, I would like to have your leader on the show, because like we need to talk to him. Yeah. Because
Yes.
due to public demand and due to the post that he's hosting, because like there's something that I need to know, especially when it comes to political parties.
Is the future, is the next future of Luo nation and this country, and we believe that as now Raila exists and people are fighting for, because there is no position called Luo leadership or Luo president,
Yeah.
he is out to take the whole region to the government,
Yeah.
and he's pleading with the people to understand that it's the government that has money. People pay taxes to the government, so services from the government are their rights, and it's not a favor.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's why we need also to host him and give us the future, the blueprint of what he's going to do for us as a community, as a Nagi nation, as a leader. And we will be very glad to have him. Maybe your last remark to our viewers before we wind up.
Uh, First and foremost, I want to thank you for this an opportunity that you've accorded me as a person to air out what I've said. I also want to urge our people to know that development is a right and not a favor, either from county government or national level. Our people must rise up and know that they have a responsibility and they have power to ask for development from either the two forms of government. And lastly, I want to urge our young people and our people that we should not just be people who see negativity in everything that comes up. We must learn to appreciate the opportunity that we've gotten in life to be alive, opportunity that we have to associate with different people at different levels, and see that as a strength to give us rise up, to make us go up, and not to hate. It's if you hate somebody who you feel is ahead of you, you will never move ahead.
Mhm.
Get advantage of that person who is ahead of you, chase him or chase her to reach where he is, and probably pass him and proceed with life. Lastly, I want to, if any of the comments that I've raised today, my words hurted somebody or anybody in a way, I would also ask for forgiveness on my behalf and on behalf of you hosting me. And if all I said pumped sense in some people, then it's also good. It's an opportunity for us to learn and move ahead together as a nation, as young people, as people who would wish that one day the leadership of this country will lie on our hands. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mweshimiwa. And on my side, I would also say thank you so much for honoring our invites and giving us your time. You know, you are very busy, and you just decided to give up 1 hour of your time, and it is of great pleasure and honor to have you on the show, and it's not going to be the last time I'm hosting you. If I have something to discuss with you, I will always call you and talk and schedule a show, and we talk about issues of the counties,
Thank,
especially Luo Nation and nationwide too. And just remember, just try to fix for us so that we can have Mweshimiwa, even if we can have one-on-one with him, because I know sometimes he's so much occupied. We can organize for one-on-one. We come and visit him in Ugenya as we see some of the things that he's doing, so that we can also tell the world or tell the whole nation that these are the schools that we were talking about on the show when we hosted one of the member from MDG. These are the schools. This is where we are giving the seed. So they could see with their own eyes, and that's why we are here. So thank you so much. And to our viewers, thank you so much. I want to thank Leo TV. I want to thank Goodia, Brenda, Oteng, Makobura for your time to be with us on the show. Please share, like, and subscribe so that we can make this message reach so many people. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa.
thank you so much. God bless you and have a good night.
You too.